guys, it's Traci. I just wanted to post a quick video here for the first time, actually, ever, on a blog post that I just wrote because I want to make sure that my point comes across pretty clearly on alcohol, calories, and weight gain. And A plus B does not necessarily equal C here, so if you are eating really well throughout the day and you have a glass of wine, it's not going to go right to your waistline. And I just want to clarify how one can gain weight when they drink and when to ease off. So last week I was on Dr. Oz and I talked a little bit about how, well, a couple of tricks, like how you can lose weight. And one of them was vinegar. Using pickled vegetables or doing a shot of apple cider vinegar. Some of my friends are probably sick to death of hearing about that. Or just getting vinegar in different ways throughout the day. The other thing was to use a taller, skinnier glass when having a glass of red wine or drink or anything, any alcohol at all, instead of a regular size, say, 8-ounce glass. And so the example I used was red wine. And drinking a 5-ounce taller, skinnier glass of red wine that appeared to be the same size as an 8-ounce glass of wine, you'd be saving 75 calories, which really, if you add that up over the course of a week or a month or a year, that's quite a lot. And so when the show aired last week, I was sitting at a girlfriend's house and one of my friends was sitting next to me and I was saying, you can drink this tall, skinny glass instead of this big glass. And she just said, that's not exactly what I said, but then she just said, well, then I'm just going to drink 2 glasses. And I'm sure many of you may have thought the same thing, so that kind of defeats the purpose. So I thought I'd go a little bit further with that. All right, so here are the two ways. There's more than 2 ways that your body can actually store fat, but in terms of like the 2 primary ways that your body can store fat when drinking alcohol, here they are. One is, it's highly unlikely that when you have a drink of alcohol, you are drinking pure alcohol. If you do drink straight up alcohol, you got a problem. And turn off this video right now and go get help because it tastes terrible and I don't know how you do it. But it's more likely that if you're someone that's a moderate alcohol drinker, you are drinking a glass of wine, having a beer, having a cocktail, something like that. There's probably sugar in it in the form of carbohydrate. There's probably fat in it if you're having like a pina colada or something like that. And there could be protein in it as well. And so those are all extra calories. And if you've eaten what you need to eat for the day, and then you have those extra calories, those calories need to get stored if your body doesn't need to burn them. And there's a good chance that it doesn't. Additionally, alcohol itself has a caloric value. So for every gram of alcohol, it's equal to 7 calories, which is a lot. And so our body doesn't metabolize alcohol in the same way that it does protein, carbohydrate, or fat. In fact, the liver, it goes straight to the liver, which is why alcohol can sometimes be really toxic on the liver. But alcohol doesn't get burned as soon as it hits the liver, which is where it gets tricky. So this is point number 2. When we drink, fat gets burned first. So let's say that we're sitting down, we're having dinner, and the example I used in my blog post was a big piece of cheesy pizza. And let's say, hypothetically, I have no idea, like it's all relative how big the size of the pizza is, but let's say it's 400 calories and it has 20 grams of fat. Those fat calories have to get burned first, says the liver. And there's nothing you can do to try to change that. And so the liver needs to somehow metabolize those fat calories. So that's 180 calories from fat, because there's 9 calories in 9 calories per gram of fat, and if there are 20 calories, 20 grams of fat, that's what it equates to. And then the body has to burn through that. So let's say that you're not particularly active. Your body is not going to necessarily be able to get to those extra calories from alcohol right away. And so that's one way that we tend to store fat, and that's actually a primary way that we store fat when we drink. So if you're having, not just one drink, but if you're having 2 or 3, and let's say that you're having something that has more sugar in it, like let's say your thing is Pinot Grigio or Chardonnay, which have a little bit more sugar than red wine might. Pinot Grigio certainly does. Or let's say that you like rum and Coke, or let's say that it's, beer, which has more carbohydrate in it as well. Those have to get burned. Alcohol gets burned too, but fat always gets burned first. And so that is my clarification for the blog post. I hope that makes sense. If you are a moderate alcohol consumer, in no way do I want to tell you you have no right to drink. Of course you do. And so, there are a lot of benefits to drinking cardiovascularly and cognitively if you drink small amounts regularly. If you drink in excess, it can be much more damaging. So that's that. I hope that's send some clarification to you. If you have any questions about this, you can find me at TraciDMitchell.com. You can subscribe to my newsletter there, or you can find me on Facebook as well at TraciDMitchell. It's something, just Traci D. Mitchell, put it in there and you'll find me. That's it. Talk to you soon. Bye.